water and held it in the reservoir, suspended on a large structure, and basically utilized the force of gravity to accelerate water downward and in turn come out of the valve, turning a motor on a turbine to generate electricity. For my project, I saw a lot of small-scale solar panels and a lot of wind energy that was small scale, and I really wanted to make a hydropower system that I could make on a small scale and utilize it in certain areas. I started off just making my ideas on graphing the notebook and just writing. I started with this one, which was essentially going to be on top of another structure and have a taller and wider reservoir on the top, with the part leading down, which is called the penstock. That tube could basically come from the reservoir down and get into the turbine. The penstock was actually going to be a lot wider than my original idea, and the turbine was going to be extended off the penstock and down the penstock. Over time, I generated a lot more ideas, and my whole idea of what the system would look like changed completely from September to actually around February, January. And it became a lot more simpler. I was thinking about one bucket, make it taller, so I got the large head, increasing efficiency, and overall just making the project more similar, less material use, while still achieving a large efficiency rate. How I proceeded after making my designs was a physical prototype that, as you can see here, I started by just getting a piece of plywood about 6 feet tall and making a base for it and going and putting it on top to where I could keep my reservoir. And right in the reservoir there's an outlet right there where the tube would attach and allow the water to go through. From here, there were a lot of problems with that because the water being really heavy and only having small outlets on it could cause the tip over to break off. So I had to adjust with that. And my original turbine was actually a lot smaller, and I used ping pong balls, hot glued to a acrylic base. And as simple and rudimentary as it sounds, it actually worked perfectly with my design and helps a lot in actually testing it and experimenting with it. These are some pictures over here. I really like the idea of a turbine that uses ping pong balls as its rotors because it's something you can recycle and use plastic. Other than ping pong balls, not very useful, and I found useful and they work really well. After making my prototype, I moved on to testing it, and I didn't need a lot of variables. All I did was fill the bucket up with proceeding from 2 liters, 2.5 liters, all the way to 4.5 liters, and I would time how long it took the water to go through a full cycle. And with that, I also had a multimeter attached to the back of the motor as it was running to see how much energy was used. And I came up with some interesting results. I found that when there's more water in the bucket, meaning that there's more water stacked on itself, that more energy in the instant moment as the turbine rotated, it actually generated more energy, meaning that the water is coming out at a faster velocity and increasing the rate of the turbine. This was actually a great find, so I could change the whole design of my reservoir and how I would actually bring the water from the reservoir to the turbine to hopefully increase efficiency. And it was just something I had to see. I started with 2 liters and it would be about a minute or so to actually go through a full cycle. And it only generated about 0.8 volts of energy per cycle as I went through. And as I went down to about 4.5 liters, it took a lot longer, about 161 seconds to go through a full cycle of that. And on top of that, the instant velocity of the water and how much voltage I was getting out of that was getting about 0.06 more than it was previously. And the differences, and only in my prototype, the reservoir was only about 10 liters of bucket, and in my final analysis, it is 17 gallons. So I can hold a lot more water and that's a lot more potential energy. had a little bit more area to have area to see it a little nicer. I also, in my last one, I have a pretty short shaft attaching from the turbine to the motor, and in my newest one, I made the shaft a lot longer to hopefully have it more stabilized and work better and rotate a lot with faster velocity. And going back to my original one, it was only about 6 feet tall, and that only generated about 0.86 like tops voltage. And with my new one, it's about 8 feet tall, suspended, and theoretically speaking, if I were to put a light bulb on it, it could run, the light bulb would be pretty dim, but it would run for about a whole day. And if I wanted to be the brightest it could, then probably the light bulb would run for about an hour or so. But I have a lot of fun with these projects, especially the final one, because everything I had seen before and everything that I had come up with, I was able to look at, evaluate, and analyze, and just review and update and upgrade, create a better product and with a better result. Really from my beginning, my initial design statement, I didn't stray far from that, and I kind of stuck to what I really wanted to accomplish, which was a small-scale power system that was able to generate just a decent amount of energy for what it is, a renewable energy source, meaning that it doesn't take any energy and it only creates energy. But some here and there problems I still have for efficiency, and specifically for efficiency, on areas like right here, I would have a lot of friction, and the viscosity inside of it, viscosity meaning basically the friction of liquids as they pass through objects, like certain things like that would decrease the efficiency and make it not be able to create as much power as along with that power generator. And also accessibility, it's pretty big as you see over there, but it takes up a lot of room, you can't really move it around easily. It's not like a global source of energy, but more supposed to be implemented at just one place, but hopefully one day it will be updated and be able to move around. And also stability. It's got a large 17-gallon water reservoir on top of it, and it could use a little bit more stability, which is what I'm looking for as I continue to work on it. Over the whole project, I've learned a lot, a ton about renewable energy, a ton about hydropower, and specifically small-scale hydropower. Normally, hydropower is done on running water sources like rivers or creeks, where the water is constantly going through a turbine, constantly generating energy. Other than rain gutter turbines and things that were a lot smaller and didn't generate that much energy for what it was, I didn't see anything that used rainwater. And I really like the idea of using rainwater because in areas such as the Philippines or India, there's monsoon seasons and large mass amounts of water where they can't use wind power, they can't use solar power, and they need an energy source. So these are some terms I learned along the way: viscosity, friction with liquids inside. Tubing, penstock. In this case, the penstock would be the tube, just that it runs down the center right here, and draft tube would be the valve at the bottom. Their version of control gate would be the valves are allowed to turn on and off, which right here, this valve I'm able to turn on and off by let the water accumulate and build up, and then over time it turns to the desired amount. And it's turned the valve, let the water go through. Flow and height of head is about how high the reservoir is from the turbine, and that does contribute a lot to the efficiency of it. And the flow is just how fast the water is going. And then the runner is the first bit of water that comes out of your tube, the first bit that hits the turbine and kind of basically sets the stage for the rest of the water, if that makes any sense. But I have a lot of fun with this project. I learned a lot, and I'm really excited to continue working on it and make it better. In all of this, I have to thank my teacher, Ms. Conley, for helping me along the way, as well as Ms. Kraft. It was a great mentor and taught me a lot. Thank you. challenging part. The most challenging part was probably figuring out whether I wanted to base my project around designing the turbine that was more efficient or just making a ping pong ball with a base. Because there's definitely more efficient turbines out there, and they can for sure have a better energy output. But for this project, I kind of wanted to make something that was more of the system, and then just make a makeshift turbine that worked perfectly, but it's really easy. Other questions? Thank you.